Hey, lovely sexy people. Oh, let's just straighten that out. So, issue 10, Dungeons and Dragons Adventure. Let's have a look. Oh, they sound weighty. I've got all the hole punch bits out of this one as well. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Put those over there. Right. Amazing NPCs. Sage and Charlatan. Right, movement. Part 2. Whether you're riding, jumping or swimming, special forms of movement can help you navigate your environment. Each foot of movement costs 1 extra foot, 2 extra feet in difficult terrain. When you're climbing, swimming or crawling, a character ignores this extra cost. If their character sheet lists a climbing speed or a swimming speed, a DM might also rule that climbing a slippery vertical surface or one with few handholds requires a successful strength athletics check. Similarly, gaining any distance through rough water might also require a successful strength athletics check. So this is interesting. So the adventure that I'm on at the moment is we're on a water planet. So two of our adventurers have just found a gem of swimming and a ring of swimming and a gem of merman speech, I think it was, which enables, so the ring of swimming obviously enables the wearer to swim through water as if they were like moving normally. And the gem, as well as the speech thing, also helps with swimming as well. So there's that. We've also picked up a couple of potions of underwater breathing to help us, because we're kind of hoping that our DM is going to at some point throw on us there's a sunken ship there that might contain treasure, etc., etc. Right, jumping. A character's strength determines how well they jump. This is the same whether they are trying to jump a long distance or attempting high jump. Mounts and vehicles. Many animals move much faster than humanoids. A mounted character can ride at a gallop for up to an hour, covering twice the usual distance for a fast pace. Characters in wagons, carriages or other land vehicles choose a pace as normal. Characters in a waterborne vessel are limited to the speed of the vessel. So we've got a sloop of war which I think has a maximum of 96 miles per day. Ignoring both the penalties for a fast pace and the benefits from a slow pace. Depending on the vessel and size, the cruise ships might be able to travel for up to 24 hours per day. Certain special mounts such as Pegasus or Griffin, or special vehicles such as a broom of flying, also allow for a swifter travel. Role-playing NPCs. So this is it. This is interesting. Our Dungeon Master, we've got a lot of crew on our sloop of war, and our Dungeon Master does roleplay quite a few of those characters for us, as well as obviously all the NPCs that we interact with when we're in port buying supplies or selling something that we may have come across, etc. Adding NPCs to the party. NPCs may accompany the party on individual quests or even for whole adventures, but they should never overshadow the player characters. Your players and their characters are the heroes in this world, and friendly NPCs shouldn't steal their limelight or take away their ability to make decisions in case they hamper the enjoyment of the game. There you go. Equipment. There we go. Right. What your character does with their gear is only limited by your imagination. We've previously highlighted some of the items your characters carry with them on their adventuring life, but what is the best way to use that equipment? Some items have obvious uses. A food ration is a food ration, whether it's keeping you fed in the midst of a wilderness or you're throwing it to a wild animal to try and convince it not to eat you. Since Dungeons and Dragons is a game where you dictate the action, the best way to use an item is only limited by your creativity. Here are a few ideas. Bag of 1000 ball bearings. If you use an action to spill these tiny metal balls over an area that's 10 feet square, a creature moving across it must succeed a DC 10 dexterity saving throw or fall prone. Handy. But ball bearings can also be used as ammo for a sling, dropped down a well to judge its depth, and so much more. A bell and 10 feet of string. So typically a bell might be used for signalling. Coupled with string, it can create an impromptu alarm or be tied around a monster so you know when it's coming. A hammer and pitons. A piton, a small spike-shaped piece of metal with a ring at one end, can be hammered into the walls or other sheer surfaces to help you climb when there are no handholds. A piton can also be hammered into the gap between a door and its frame to jam the door. So yeah. Bottle of ink pen sheets of parchment, aside from correspondences, are perfect for map making. Bag of sand. While it makes a great paperweight, this item can also test the direction of wind. Remove the rust from corroded metal so you can read what's beneath it. Track an invisible creature's footprints when sprinkled on the floor. Trip a pressure point trap or replace the treasure on a trap, Indiana Jones style, so you can leave with the loot, or be sold as fairy dust to a charismatic charlatan when the party needs funds. There you go. So here we go. There's some stuff here. Just listing what's in different stuff. So languages. There are many languages in the D&D world. My character speaks Common and Orcish. Typical languages of Faerun. So we've got Dwarvish here and Elvish script for characters, which is quite nice to see actually, the alphabet laid out. Power of words, magical comprehension, secret languages. Other languages exist which are harder to discern and decipher. Rogues are trained in Thieves' Cant, a secret mix of dialect, jargon and code which allows messages to be hidden in seemingly normal conversation. A pair of rogues can easily plan their way out of a prison cell as unwitting guards stand within earshot. Druids are also known to practice mysterious rites and recite all but forgotten prayers in their own secret tongue. So we've got a sage here for character creation. Learn about the D&D background that is all about, well, learning. Knowledge, they say, is power. This maxim holds especially true for a sage. Before circumstances drag them into the adventuring life, sage characters would have devoted years or decades or entire human lifetimes in the case of dwarven or elven sages, to the pursuit of knowledge, most likely of the arcane variety. So, sage benefits. Aside from offering 2 extra languages and proficiency in the arcana and history skills, the sage background comes packaged with the researcher feature. This can be extremely useful on most quests, or even lead to new quests starting. If you fail an intelligence check and find that you are unable to recall a particular piece of information or lore, then you will often know the best place or person to learn from it. That could be a particular scriptorium in a nearby town, or it could be a lost library many leagues away in an undead-infested ruin. A charlatan. So Emily's character is a charlatan, a tiefling rogue charlatan. Yeah. I like her though. She's cool. Background that's perfect for characters who wish to is selling something to the so the cynical saying goes. That is certainly true of the charlatan. Whether they're selling snake oil to the ailing and desperate, Tall tales as the God's own truth to gullible listeners, or simply a persona they're presenting as their own, but which couldn't be more different from the person lurking deep beneath. From Loki to Saul Goodman, tricksters, swindlers, and con artists have fascinated since time immemorial, whether they're presented as lovable tricksters or cold, manipulative sociopaths. So there's no doubt the charlatan background offers rich territory to explore through your D&D character. So, some information on charlatan benefits. Role-playing a charlatan. And then we're into the lore section. So, Sword Mountains. Axholm. Axholm. Why does Axholm... Or what? Nah. Why Axholm is, for some reason, that is familiar to me, and I want to say it's in the Shannara series of books by Terry Brooks. I can't. It might have been Axhelm was the location for the home of like mountain trolls or something, rather than Axholm. I'm going to have to go and look that up now. Right. Order of the Gauntlet. Where there is darkness, they bring light. Where there is oppression, they bring justice. Where there is despair, they bring hope. A beacon of faith and resilience in the face of ever-encroaching evil. The Order of the Gauntlet is hardly ambiguous in its ideals and goals. Okay, so they sound like religious zealots. Notable members. These notable Order of the Gauntlet members have appeared in epic D&D adventures. You may choose to set your own adventures before or after the events mentioned here come to pass. Niall's Breakbone is a Condathan Templar of Tyr. Barrowin Under. Yeah, that's like so bad. A Dwarven Cleric. Yarvan Tarmikos, a human paladin of Helm and Ontharr Throom, an amiable and high-spirited human paladin of Torm. Tenets of the Order. The three principles adhered to and upheld by all members are: faith is the greatest weapon against evil. Extraordinary strength and bravery are required to perform the extraordinary task of combating evil. It is just to punish an evil act. It is not just to punish an evil thought. Okay, and then we have part 2 of our Dead Knock Mine encounter. So we had the first part last issue, Indiana Jones in it, in the minecart. So we got a dressing mill, which is this area here, and that's got 6 goblins in, and then we got D6 to D8, so 1, 2, 3 there, so D6, D7, D8. Each of these tunnels contains 4 goblins lurking in the dark to ambush miners. And then we have the Feywild Grotto, which is where our Neilbog Brackabrock is entertaining 6 more goblins inside the grotto. So, yeah. I think this and the map from the previous issue would be really easy. I think that's, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110, 115, 120. So 120 feet. I think that wouldn't be too bad to model with some XPS insulation foam. And then you get your stat block for your Neilblog, or Neilbog I should say, and stat block for goblins. So there you go, that was that. Let's have a look at the dice. Now the dice are a set of miniature metal dice, and they feel quite weighty. Oh yeah, they're actually, they got some heft to them. But yeah, you're potentially going to lose them if you drop them on the floor. And they come down with a satisfying, you know, thump. These guys, yeah, they don't roll. They don't roll. So even if you let's have a look at the D20 and see how that goes. 13, oh, critical 1, 7, 10, 14, 8, 17, 11, 12, 14, 17, 2, 7, 10, 16, 18. Okay, yeah, so that's not rolling too badly. They got some heft to them though. I'm not gonna lie in that respect. You know, once they, that scene in Lord of the Rings when Bilbo drops the one ring in the entrance to his hobbit hole and it just goes thunk. That's kind of what these guys do. You know, they don't really roll that far or do much. I think you definitely want to have a. Dice tray for these. Yeah, they're not. They don't roll. Okay, right, so there you go. That was that issue. That's issue 10. That's the end of our latest delivery. Hopefully, there won't be too much lead time between the processing date and me receiving this. There was a week between when they started processing it to when it was dispatched, and then it was another 5 days before I actually received the issues. So, yeah, there you go. Right, I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.